This is Random Video Day, Bear Creek Park. I think this time I want to tell some stories, 3 stories that are related to Bear Creek. Yeah, this here is it's an old foundation. Not sure what it was used for. At first I thought it was a windmill foundation, but the way it looks is maybe not. Then I thought maybe it was a front porch from a house one day. Maybe it is. Don't know. I know the survey maps show it was here in 1915. So yeah, it's at least 100 plus years old. Yeah, this whole area was used for cattle and mostly agricultural farming, that kind of stuff. Prior to the 1950s, I think it was a German community out here. I know the Hollendale family used to live out here. And then 1950s, in order to ease flooding of Houston, they put the dam around it, and the Army Corps of Engineers turned it into pretty much a reservoir for the most part. This is, I think, used to be a water trough of some sort. And I think it was here before that tree was here, because that tree is now pretty much embedded into the side of it, breaking the concrete. So 3 stories, random stories, but they're not too random because, again, they all have a connection here to Bear Creek Park. So, where would I begin? I don't know. Guess I'll start them in probably chronological order they appeared in, happened in. So, June 17, 1971. I guess we'll start there. Young lady named Colette Wilson. She was 13. Her band teacher had just dropped her off up in Alvin off Highway 6. And she called her mother, and her mother, I believe, was supposed to come pick her up. By the time her mother got there, she was nowhere to be found. And that was the last time she was ever heard of alive or seen alive. On October 28th, Gloria Ganzales went missing. She was 19, lived off of Jacqueline Street up in Spring Branch, which is actually a street that was, I don't know, 2-3 blocks from where we used to live, a little house. She went missing, and that was the last time she was ever seen alive. Now, on November 23, there was a gentleman out here, Bear Creek Park, who was doing some metal detecting. And from what I could research and what I could find is, and I found 2 different stories. One, he was smelling a sort of an odor, and others report said he just comes across a skull. Either way, he came across the dismembered remains of Gloria Ganzales, and contacted the authorities, the police. Police came out and, of course, started the investigation. Gathered the remains of Gloria, and from what I can read during the whole autopsy and investigation, they found that that she was dismembered, and they also found an extra tooth. I believe it was a molar that did not belong to her. So the authorities had to assume that since the tooth didn't belong to her, there may be another body in the vicinity where Gloria was found. So the authorities went back out, and on November 26th, they came across the remains of Colette Wilson, and she was just 150 feet from where they found Gloria, over here at Bear Creek Park. Over there where I believe where the old Boy Scout camp used to be, where the old Eldridge Road made a 90-degree turn. The road's now pretty much abandoned, and new Eldridge has been moved over about 300 feet and straightened out. But that's where Gloria and Colette was found here at Bear Creek. big 1-inch cable on the ground. It actually spans the entire length of this trail. Yeah, I've always liked Bear Creek Park. It's so quiet. Some big trees. Yeah, this is an old, it's called a cattle grate, I guess. A lot of times they're made of pipe or they're made of old railroad tracks. It's actually pretty, it's concrete. The whole idea behind one is you have a ditch, you have a bridge crossing that ditch. Right there, we have a ditch, both sides. Usually there's a fence that spans the ditch. Like this fence here, well, you can still see some right there. You can see some of the barbed wire. That fence would have ran all the way, you know, who knows how far that way, and all the way that way toward Langland Creek. And the whole idea is the cattle can't cross the fence, and so if you have a bridge here and you don't want to put crossing gates or any kind of gates on the fence, you build something like this, and the cows, in theory, can't cross that. For some reason, they can't walk across these little slats without falling through. So this one little device here can keep your cattle on one side of the fence without putting a fence up. It's pretty cool. And most of them I see them, they're made of train tracks or just old metal piping. Yeah. Yeah, this one here is probably, I don't know, it's probably 100 plus years old. Wouldn't doubt. This trail here actually used to be a road. Was here as long as the old foundation was. And this trail here, that way it goes to Langland Creek, which I'll be heading here for story number 2. And that way goes all the way to highway, not highway 6, Eldridge. Because, yeah. Often they call this, I think Lamb Road or something like that, because one of the owners of the property, his name was Lamb, last name Lamb. So, yeah. So story number 2. Got to fast forward to 2016. A couple, Kristen, Gibson, and Sidney Taylor were from Houston. They were at the time in Austin for, I believe it was a music, some kind of music festival, and sort of vanished, just disappeared. They're both 35 years old. They're both adults. From what I read, Sidney Taylor had a friend named Harvey Lester Cyphers, I believe it is, who lived in Austin, and he went up there to visit his friend and go to a music concert. So they vanished, disappeared, and a day or two later or so, their car was actually found here in Houston, up in the sort of uptown, midtown district here in Houston. Car was found abandoned, no one in it. They were missing. No one knew how they got from Austin back to Houston. Their loved ones, I guess, began pinging the cell phone, and the cell phone actually pinged right here at Bear Creek Park. So Houston Echo Search and I guess Houston Police Department, Sheriff Department, they got a little search out here, had a bunch of volunteers. They searched and never found the phone and never found them. Now, Ironically, I'm not sure exactly why. Harvey Lester Cyphus. Harvey Lester, he was actually arrested in Austin, I want to say about 2 years ago. They found the car. They found his DNA in the car. Found the couple's DNA in the car. And somehow or another, that was enough to charge him on murder charges. So he was charged with 2 counts of murder. I'm not sure about the trial, when it started, if it's going to start. Trials sometimes, you can murder someone and 5 years later, 6 years later, the trial hasn't even started yet. But he was charged with murder. And again, their cell phone pinged here at Bear Creek. And they were not found. And this is Langham Creek. Langham Creek is often sort of a focal point of all the ghost stories here at Bear Creek. There's a road called Patterson. And they say if you go to Patterson Road and park your car on it in the middle of the night, turn your motor off, you can hear the ghosts of Confederate soldiers tapping on the car as they walk by. The only problem is there were no Confederate soldiers here in Houston, no battling here in Houston, so it's really weird story that makes no sense, honestly. But yeah, this is Langham Creek. Yeah, I used to go fishing out here, and you can catch catfish and other stuff, but mostly what you catch is snags. There's so much debris in the water, so many trees and stuff in the water. Yeah, the minute you catch the line out, you're hung on something. Yeah, I think as a child, we used to swim at Spring Creek, and if I was if I was like 12 years old, I'll probably be stupid enough to jump in and swim in it. Yeah. There's all kind of dangers in there, hidden dangers, and current will take you away and get you hung up on one of the logs, underneath the log or something. That's it. I think when I was young, I wasn't, I guess not that I wasn't smart. I just, there's a lot of things I took for granted. But yeah, if I was young, if I was 12 years old, yeah, this would be a prime swimming hole. So, story 3. Story 3 is a weird one because it happened, it happened this year, April this year. It's a strange one, another very tragic story. I don't know where we're going to start on that one. Not sure where to start. Young lady named Felicia Johnson. She was originally from California. Came to Houston for, how can I say this politely? For an adult entertainment job. It was a strip joint basically, and I guess they were hosting. I guess that I don't go to strip joints, so I don't know, but they were hosting some kind of come on in from California or whatever, and she advertised, had flyers out. She advertised. That's I'm not a judge. It is what it is. But on I'm trying to remember when it was. April 16th, 2022. She had finished her night, I guess, at her at the establishment that she was working in. And the story gets muddy because I've heard so many different stories, but the basic story is a gentleman. Back it up. Basic story is after her nightclub dancing job, she was making extra money on the side doing in calls and out calls. You know what I mean? I guess in adult industry, the strip joints, I guess prostitution is somewhat normal-ish. I guess, I don't know. Either way, from what I've read, an Uber was called. I heard she called it Uber. I heard the gentleman called it Uber. Either way, an Uber was called, and she met a gentleman who then took her to his apartment in West Houston. Now, that was, again, the last time she was ever seen. And for the most part, she'll just be another missing person. But there was a man who the cops pulled over. His name was Chukwubaku Dubo, Chuck Nu. Good grief. Let's call him Chuck. His name was Chuck. And I'm assuming he has some kind of warrant. It was a minor warrant, maybe a speeding ticket he didn't pay. Either way, the cops picked him up, arrested him, took him to jail, seized his phone, and for whatever reasons, whatever the warrant was, I believe he was out the next day. So that was the last anyone seen Chuck. I guess people were putting two together, was noticing the Uber that Felicia was in and the Uber Chuck was in were the same Uber. So the police goes back to his home, his apartment, West Houston, with the warrant. And of course he's not there because he done skipped out. More likely, I think he was, I could be wrong, I think he was from Nigeria. But I figured by that time he was already on a plane to Nigeria or already back in his home country because he done left town. So they went to his apartment. There they found receipts for electric saws, trash bags. They found, from what I hear, some form of her DNA, his DNA. So they were slowly putting things together. They went ahead, since they had his phone in custody already, they went ahead and unlocked his phone. And that's where the story gets really crazy. They found her dismembered body. And I guess he cut her up with the saw he bought from Home Depot. And for whatever reason, took photos of it. And then besides those photos, they found 3 other photos of 3 other deceased people. I haven't heard anything about who they were. It got super strange, super fast. So they have that. Then they began looking at his searches, and most of his Google searches was how to get away with murder, how to clean crime scenes, how to can police track cell phones, those kind of searches. Felicia's family, who lived in California, went ahead and hired a private investigator to try to get as many boots on the ground as they could to find out what happened to the loved one. So the private investigator came and from here in Houston decided to go ahead and get the cell phone data, and of course it pinged right here at Bear Creek Park. So he came to Bear Creek Park to do his own private search, and sure enough, he actually found her bloodied cell phone in the ditch. Turned into the police. They did a little DNA on the blood, and it was Felicia's blood. To this day, Felicia hasn't been found, and I don't quite think they're gonna ever find her. I'm assuming. I'm not a CSI person, but Colette Wilson and Gloria Ganzales, they found them because they were just dumped in the woods for the most part. I'm thinking Kristen, Gibson, and Sidney Taylor and Felicia. I'm thinking they were probably more likely dumped into either Bear Creek or Langham Creek. You saw Langham Creek, Bear Creek about the same. You put a body in there or parts of a body in there, and the odds are of anyone finding it's going to be somewhat slim, I think. There's a lot of snags, a lot of just there's alligators in the water, turtles in the water. There's a lot of things that would eat a buddy. And I got a feeling that they probably won't be found out here. But that's what adds to the whole lore of the haunted Bear Creek Park, because it's a lot of tragedy, a lot of just stuff like that happen, and people I don't know, I guess people like to hang on to that kind of lore, and you come out at nighttime and you see all kind of people out there, talking to little spirit boxes and stuff, trying to find ghosts and orbs and all kind of stuff. Kind of funny watching them. But out here at midnight, the place is full of people looking for ghost hunting. But like I said, I don't believe in that stuff. I don't believe in ghosts and all that stuff. Now, what we do have is snakes. Here's a nice little water moccasin. See, he rattled his tail. He wants to pretend he's a rattlesnake, but he's not a rattlesnake. But yeah, he's trying to be all tough and everything. He's about a foot long. He's not a foot and a half long. He's not too big. If he bit me, it'll be I don't think it'll kill me, but it'll definitely be I'll be missing work tomorrow. Yeah. Let him do his thing. Also, that proves that snakes don't go around just chasing you. A lot of people believe that a snake will just chase you everywhere, chase you and bite you. I'm right here, and all he wants to do is flatten out, make himself as low as possible. Get his head up like that, sort of a defensive posture, rattle his tail like he's a rattlesnake. Most of it are just warnings, saying that, hey, leave me alone, don't bother me. And if you don't bother them, they won't bite you. So a lesson is snake behavior. Don't bother it won't bother you. Now this is the haunted Patterson Road. Right now it's a bit busy. If you go that way about a mile, you hit Highway 6. That way is towards Eldridge Parkway. It's a little busy. This time of day, this is rush hour, so people are taking shortcuts between Eldridge and Highway 6, using Patterson. It can be a bit hard to climb across the road. Over there is the Langham Creek Bridge. I might head there later on, don't know. See if I can get across so I get run over. Like I said, at nighttime, there's people parked on the side of the road here, doing their ghost investigations and all the paranormal stuff. Yeah. That's haunted. Looks haunted. So in here we have the cemetery. It's all about trying to find it, because this is some overgrown thickness. That's a word. It's all about trying to find it. Yeah, I think I found something. Yeah, here's one grave marker here. That's a George Hollendale. Branch in the way. Born April 6, 1872, died June 30, 1881. Yeah, you can see it in there. A couple more markers in there. Oh, we got a stone in here. Like I said, this is some thick stuff. See, it's a stone there. I don't see any markers on it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure there's other stones in here. Let me see if I can find. There used to be a rather large one here at one time. Yeah, here's another Conrad Hollendale, born 1890, died 1890. I don't see a month or anything. More likely it was probably a baby who didn't survive. Yeah, I can't see any inscription on these. This looks like a Frederick Jurpert? I don't know, it's probably German. Again, born 1867, died 1888. Another stone. Again, no date on this one. Another Jort. It's probably a German name. I can't really tell what it says. Grudel. I don't know. Can't tell. Born I guess September 1857 and died December 18. I guess that's 88 maybe. So yeah, this is the Hollander Cemetery. Yeah, also known as the Blue Light Cemetery. Like I said, I've never seen any of these graves glow anything. Supposedly there's a stone, a certain kind of stone that's somewhat phosphorescent, I guess, at night. It gives off a little glow. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this is where I'm at right now. So let me get out of here. Yeah, and there's a lot more graves in here. I just it's so thick, it's really hard to see where they at. Okay, this is a big clearing. I think the Boy Scouts once used this for their little bath ceremonies and other Boy Scout stuff. Over there, like over there-ish, there's a road. I might go there one of these days, do a little video there. But there's the old Eldridge Road, which is now abandoned pretty much. And there's a road that comes off of that. And I guess that's where people parked, and there's was an old what do they call it, windmill. There's a little pond over there, but that's where the Boy Scouts, I think, once used to go. But it's clearing here. This will be a great clearing for a powwow. It's nice, wide open. I can cut the grass a little bit, and maybe smooth out the bumps. But yeah, it'd be a great place. Yeah, usually we have the powwows at Trader's Village up Eldridge. It's an international powwow. But yeah, if any travel from Dallas would ever contact the whoever runs Bear Creek, I think it'd be cool to have one here. Yeah. All right, time to go. Time to get out of here. Maybe I'll make a video later on over in the old Eldridge area and a few others. But time to go home because I got a beer waiting for me. And yeah, I'm tired. All right, later.